Chapter 4, Choosing a Broker. This is the first step to day trading. Opening a broker account. Two things to consider: margin or cash. Which one do you want to go with? Margin will allow you to short. Margin clears funds faster. Margin lets you use leverage, and make sure you get the market data. Take advantage of live support. With cash account, you're strictly just trading with cash. Margin, there's a lot more wiggle room. So sometimes think of it like a loan where the funds haven't settled yet. To do something like this, rather if you sign up with E-Trade or Thinkorswim or SureTrader, you could apply for a margin account. Brokers. Different brokers have different strengths. What features are most important to you? Are you looking for shares to short? Do you want, long-term short? Do you want to avoid the pattern day trader rule? Do you want to avoid, no $2.50 rule intraday? Do you want for OTC executions, lower fees? You must make that choice. I cannot help you. Every broker offers different, variety of different things. Me personally, I have multiple broker accounts because, every broker offers me a different thing. So if I'm looking to short, I might go with one broker. If I'm looking at long positions, I'll use this broker instead. So it really depends on what you want to do. Now I know most people that are new to day trading, they're starting with a small amount of money. They're very limited. So you have to know what you want, and the best thing to do is make the best decision for yourself. Speed Trader. This is my favorite top-of-line broker. Just all around awesome. Best OTC executions. Many different routing options to choose from. Flexible fee structures. Short selling. First come, first serve. So I come to the market, I can reserve my shares to short. The trading platform is actually called DOS. It's DOS Trading Platform. So it's the same platform that is used with SureTrader and Centerpoint Securities. I love it. It's fantastic with hotkeys, low routing cost, and the actual platform, they call it the Speed Trader Pro platform. So just an all-around fantastic broker. The problem is you need at least $25,000 to open this account with them. Centerpoint Securities, again, two clearing firms, excellent borrows, great executions, many routing options. They offer multiple trading platforms. There's no $2.50 rule intraday, but the problem is there is higher fees and you need a higher account minimum. You need at least $35,000. Actually, I think they increased it to $50,000. But between Speed Trader and Centerpoint Securities, you're looking to fund them with at least, ideally, Speed Trader is $25,000, but I think they actually bumped up to $30,000. So between Speed Trader and Centerpoint Securities, this isn't going to be an option for many new traders because they're very limited on the amount of money they have. But eventually when you do build your account up, these are both awesome brokers. SureTrader, hands down the best broker for small accounts. It's an offshore broker. So SureTrader is actually the sister company of Speed Trader. People don't know that. The problem with SureTrader is people are like, oh, it's offshore, it's in the Bahamas, it's sketchy, they're gonna take my money and run with it. No, that's all bullshit. That's not gonna happen. Yes, they don't have to follow the SEC's rules, and what I mean by that is if you fund your account with SureTrader, you could day trade every single day. And you might be thinking, well, how can I fund them with $1,000 but I'm allowed to day trade every single day? But yet E-Trade, I fund them with $1,000 but I can't day trade them every single day. It's because SureTrader does not have to follow the SEC rules, as I mentioned before. So you could break the pattern day trader rule and you can have unlimited day trades every single day. Like I said, by far awesome broker platform. The only thing that can kind of suck with them is sometimes their customer service is easy to get a hold of. It's just time consuming. So like what would take a problem to get solved with E-Trade or any other US broker, it might take 5 minutes. With SureTrader, it might take 50 minutes, but the job gets done. You have a 6-to-1 leverage. So if you fund your account with SureTrader, it's $1,000 you fund them with, you're actually allowed $6,000 to trade with. So it's very, very cool. You know, and they offer short selling. Short selling, they have a short selling list of over 10,000 tickers. So the short selling with SureTrader is just as good. The only problem is SureTrader, they have higher fees, so the commissions can start to add up really fast. But as a new day trader, you want to get in, make that trade, nail, bail, boom, get out, and be done. You know, repeat the same process each and every single day to build up your funds higher to 25,000, and then eventually switch over to a U.S. broker. E-Trade, probably the number one known U.S. broker. It's awesome. You know, I can't complain about them. They got a good mobile app. You know, their pro platform is really good to use. So any new day traders that sign up with E-Trade, you actually get 90 days of the platform for free. SureTrade, Centerpoint Securities, and SpeedTrader, you have to pay for the platforms each and every single month. But there are special deals you can work out with Centerpoint Securities and SpeedTrader that if you make X amount of trades, the platform kind of pays for itself. But if you sign up to E-Trade, you know, at this very moment, you won't have to pay for 90 days. And if you make X amount of trades a month, then the platform cost is free. So this is a good route to go. You know, they're good for trading cheap stocks. They got good OTC executions. You know, their short selling, you know, range is from $3 to $10. They have great fast trade executions. And the number one thing about E-Trade is their customer service. It is phenomenal. I will hands down best customer service. They just get everything done so quick. This is a broker I started off with when I first started day trading. It is, you know, I love it. It's my baby. But I don't use it for day trading. I use it more for options. But I don't know. I'm still married to it, so I can't close it down and get rid of it because that's where, you know, I started. Interactive brokers. This is another, you know, good U.S. broker that has very low commissions. They have very good executions, nice and fast. They're perfect for shorting small cap stocks. Especially stocks under $2. What's nice about interactive brokers is you can hold short positions past 3 days. So other brokers like Centerpoint Securities and SpeedTrader, these you wouldn't want to hold short positions for longer than 3 days, is because they're going to start to kill you with you know, the borrow fees. But interactive brokers, it's definitely the best if you want to hold short positions longer than 3 days. Me personally, I don't do that. For you that know my strategy, I'm in and I'm out each and every single morning. I never hold any positions overnight. But if you want to, you know, go down this road and possibly hold short positions for longer than 3 days, interactive brokers is the one to go to. TD Ameritrade. TD Ameritrade is, you know, it's another U.S. broker, similar to E-Trade, but it's not as good. What I do love about TD Ameritrade is they have a platform called Think or Swim. It is by far the best hands down charting software that I've ever used. It's free to use for life once you open an account with TD Ameritrade. So you don't have to deposit anything in the account. You just have to open an account with them, and you get the free, you know, free platform for charting. But, you know, like I said, it's an all-in-one. So it's like a platform for charting, and they got like the level 2 in time and sales. But just, I don't know. I just feel like it needs to be, from a trading standpoint, I feel like it needs to be updated a little bit better from, you know, when it comes to day trading. But like I said, the charting, I love it. It's my absolute favorite. Customer service, again, phenomenal. I got no complaints about TD Ameritrade. So like I said, you could fund TD Ameritrade with, you know, 500. E-Trade and TD Ameritrade, you have to fund them with at least 500 if you want to start day trading. Like I said, you can open the account with them, but, you know, get the free Thinkorswim charting platform. But the only problem with TD Ameritrade is that it's got very slow executions for OTC stocks. It's nowhere near as fast for E-Trade, as fast as E-Trade or interactive brokers. But like I said, I've never used TD Ameritrade to actually execute a trade. I've only used them for the charting. I open up an account with them, and I'm like, oh, I love the charting, and then I'm like, oh, I'll just use the charting in this, you know, the level 2 in time and sales for this broker. and that's what I've been doing. Broker platforms. Web traders are losing traders, and what do I mean by that? So with day trading, there's two ways you can execute your trades. There's either a platform on your desktop that you download and install, or you can go to your broker's website, log in, and execute your trades there. The problem with that is a lot of it's not real time. So you're pretty much just entering the stock, putting how many shares you want to buy, how many shares you want to sell, kind of using their little chart. It's not real-time executions, and usually those traders are losing traders. So you have to basically purchase. So if you sign up for E-Trade, you get 90 days free of the broker platform to download. But you know, other broker platforms, it's actually worth the extra money. So you know, like SureTrader, if you sign up for SureTrader, their desktop platform is like $105 a month. It's right around $100, so don't quote me on that. You know, you get level 2, you get time and sales, you get real-time charting. You're able to have the option of setting up hotkeys, and what I mean by hotkeys is, imagine pressing, you know, F1 on your keyboard and you instantly buy 300 shares, and then you press F2, you instantly sell those same exact 300 shares. That gives you the option with these desktop platforms. You know, you get market scanners with them. It's just all around, you get the whole total package to become a day trader in the stock market. So it's definitely worth the extra cost. You know, it's just not a bad gig to go. You know, you could, you know, take a look at, try the online platform, but it doesn't work very well, and I've never known anyone that's successful at it. Getting started. So what do you have to provide to, you know, so you figure out which broker you want to go with. What's the next step? You're gonna have to go to their website, sign up. You have to provide them identification about you. You're gonna have to provide them your income level, tax information, and then, you know, you need to fund your account. So in order to fund your account, you basically have to, you know, link your bank account to them, so that way you can, you know, direct fund with your bank account. And you know, if you choose to pay for the desktop platform, you know, that's up to you. I highly recommend it. You know, like I said, if you sign up for E-Trade, you get it for 90 days, so it's not a bad gig to try it out and, you know, fund E-Trade with, you know, $1,000 to $2,500 or whatever. You know, or SureTrader. You fund SureTrader, you know, it's $100 a month, right around there. Like I said, don't quote me. So basically, it boils down to 25 bucks a week. You know, it's not bad. So it's definitely recommended. But you know, desktop platforms, the actual layout structure, we will be covering that in the next chapter. Chapter 5: Charting, Level 2, Time and Sales, and Hotkeys. First and foremost, candlestick charting. This is going to be the charting that I use when I day trade. There's line charting, and then there's candlestick. Candlestick is the ultimate best. Reason why is it tells you the price action and the movement of that, you know, the stock within a candle. So a perfect example is, if, you know, this candle right here, you know, this is they call this the body of the candle, and this is considered the wick. Let's go over this in the next slide. So a green long body candle, which is this one right here, long body candle that is green, opens and surges up without ever going down. These candles close at the high and are extremely bullish. Okay, so again, opens at the bottom, closes at the top, surges up. As day traders, we want to be holding a stock while a long body candle is forming, but we never want to buy after a long body candle. You know, we never want to chase at the very top. We want to try to get in as low as possible if we're longing the stock. If we buy at the top of a long body candle, we are chasing a large move, and there's a good chance we can get dumped on. So again, for instance, this body candle, if someone bought right here, they got dumped on. So you never want to buy a green body candle at the very top. We always want to wait for the pullback if we're looking to buy a stock. A red long body candle. A red long body candle shows extreme bearish, okay? This is the candle opens and sells off for an entire candlestick period. If we are in a short position, okay, so this is applied towards short selling, during the formation of a long body candle, we may want to consider covering part of our position into the wash. So, with that being said, this candle here, so whether it was this candle or this candle, we'd look to short and then we cover into the red body candle. Anytime I miss a move, whether to the upside or downside, I wait for a good reversal indicator. Let's review the actual candlestick itself. So the green and the red is called the body of the candle. The upper and the lower is called the wick. So this is the upper wick and this is the lower wick. So what this means is the lower wick was the low of the stock, and the upper wick is the high of the stock. So wherever the body starts and ends. So for instance, on a green body candle, it opened right here and it closed here, but it moved. It had a high and then it had a low. So right here is where it opens. It's never going to move here, but it's going to squeeze up or squeeze down. It's just going to bounce back and forth. Now, if it closed right here, it'd be considered a red body candle. So it means the price closed lower than the previous candle. So it's the same thing. This is called the wick. Upper wick, lower wick. This was the lowest part of the wick. This was the highest part of the wick. In this case, a red body candle, it opened at the top, it closed at the bottom. Okay, so let's look at the chart again. So for this green candle right here, at the bottom of this body right here is where it opened and it closed at the top of this body. But at one point, this candle, this body, went all the way up here. So if it closed up here, there would be no wick. If this right here, this close of the body of the candle, closed, say, right here, you'd have a long ass wick, okay? So perfect example right here, long wick. So it opened right here and it went all the way up and then came all the way back down. Now, the reason it did that, the reason you're probably thinking like, why is there a long wick? How come it didn't, how come it didn't go all the way, how come it didn't close right here and then another candle form? That's because there wasn't enough buying pressure. At one point, yeah, there was a lot of buying pressure. Buyers pushed it, and all of a sudden, no more buyers and everyone started selling, so the candle came back down. When you see a wick like this, it's a sign of reversal. It means that there's not enough buying pressure to keep pushing it. And then look, you have the reversal. The same thing applies towards a red body candle. So right here, so the red is completely opposite. So it opened right here. So for instance, if this candle right here, this green one, it opened right here, closed right here. If this one opened here and ended up closing down here, it would be considered a red body candle. Okay? So, I hope that makes sense. If not, kind of go back with this chapter and re-listen to everything over again. But again, a green body candle will always open at the lowest part, low right here, close right here. Red opens at the top, closes at the bottom. The wick, think of it as like the range. That's the highest part it went, and that's the lowest part of when it went within the chart. Okay. Support. What is support? You're going to have this often. Support and resistance. Support is the price that the stock cannot seem to go below. Two reasons for holding support. Lots of buyers with limit orders at this price, and sellers are refusing to sell lower than this price. So this is support. Okay. This is a line of support that it's holding. So the stock came down, and it didn't break this, went up, came down, couldn't break it, went up, came down, couldn't break it. So this was holding support. So whether this was $3.50, $4, it held support 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So each time you could have bought off this dip. It held support. It couldn't break it. Resistance. Resistance is a price that the stock cannot seem to go above. Two reasons for this. Lots of sellers with limit orders at this price. buyers are refusing to buy higher than this price. So it's a complete opposite of support. Resistance goes up, a lot of sellers, no one's looking to buy, crashes down. Tries one more time. A lot of buyers come in, no more buyers right here, a lot of sellers, crashes back down. So this is resistance, a perfect area to short into. So if the stock went up and came back down, you would not want to buy right here because it failed support. It couldn't break resistance once. It's a very good chance it's not going to break resistance again. So this is a good indicator to short right here because it failed once, it failed again. Gap up, favorite kind of play. It's when a stock opens, price is a lot higher than the previous day's closing price. So for instance, we'll pretend today is this candle and this was yesterday, this red candle. So yesterday the stock closed at right around $5, and then today we looked at the stock market and it gapped up. Now it gapped up to the basically $5. That's huge. What's the reason for this? News, FDA approval, earnings, multiple reasons. But we're definitely going to look to play this because look, this is a big gap. So people that were bag holders that were basically in this stock right here, and it's up this big, they're in happy land because they're up big with their position, their portfolio. So they're going to look to take profits and either squeeze up or crash at the open. Gap down, the complete opposite. So when a stock's open price is a lot lower than the previous day's closing price. So stock was cruising its way up. Next day, stock is trading much lower than it was the day before. There's a big gap. It gapped down. So all buyers that were right here, okay, they wake up the next day, they see the stock price is trading way below than what their average was. So let's say a bunch of traders that bought at $6.60, $6.80, looking to push for $7. They go to bed, they're all happy. Oh, the stock's doing fantastic and it's on an uptrend. They wake up the next day, they see it trading at $4. That is the worst feeling you will ever feel before in your life. That's why I don't hold overnight, because at any time the next day could gap up or get gap down. Anytime you hold overnight, it's always a 50-50. Never know what's going to happen. So with a gap down, this is a good indicator to buy. Now you might be thinking, well, stock's crashing, why would you buy? Because not only were there traders that bought here, but there's also traders that shorted because they're at the point where like, oh no, this thing's up way too much, I'm going to look to short. So we watch this play in the morning. Extending triangle. So when the stock is basically trending up, it's trying to break resistance, but as it's on an uptrend, it keeps holding support at a higher. So it goes up, lower, higher low, trying to break resistance, higher low, and then finally cracks. So if you see an extending triangle with the stock, excuse me, this is a good indicator to look to long. So in this case, it would be good to look to long this right here because it's having higher lows, higher lows. Here's a perfect example of an extending triangle that this stock I actually traded. Okay, as you can see here, just like right here, the image. Stock shot up, pulled back, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Right here was the resistance. It felt resistance 1, 2. Finally, right here, it broke resistance and it just ripped. Absolutely just ripped. Look, right here was 217. This was previous resistance. It just shot right through that. Pull back a little bit. It just ripped all the way up. If you had bought 1,000 shares right here, 2,000 shares, just say 1,000 shares right here. I think this was 217. This was probably right around $2, $2.10. And you sold up here at 240. That's a nice little $300-$400 in profits. You can't beat that. Descending triangle. Complete opposite. Just flip it. Stock goes down, tries to break support, can't break support, goes up, comes back down, tries to break support again, can't do it. goes back up, lower highs, and all of a sudden crashes down. So this is a perfect play, for a descending triangle. Here's an example right here, another one I traded. Stock ripped up, came down, was holding support 1, 2, 3, 4 times before it finally crashed. As you can see, went up, couldn't go back to that day's high, the daily highs. Came down, again lower high. So lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. You can just see it started right here, start having lower highs. As soon as I saw this for me right here, I'm like, all right, I'm going to look to short this. And then I shorted it, slammed the bid, crashed, covered, made a nice little couple $100. Done. Beautiful setup. So descending triangle, that's what we're looking for. Parabolic, it's when a company's stock price increases an insane amount very, very quickly. It's a very upward move in a short amount of time. I love parabolic moves. This is what I look for each and every single morning when the stock market opens. So this is a parabolic, is when the market opens and it just completely rips. It just think of it standing. Think of a guy standing here with a flare gun, a green flare gun, and it just shoots straight up. These are the kind of plays I love, because what's going to happen is it happens over and over again. When you get these parabolic straight moves that shoot straight up, yeah, I mean, it could keep shooting up, but when it comes down, it's going to come down hard. And that's exactly what happens every time a parabolic move happens. Shoots straight up, and it just pulls down hard. So whether you short it here, it's going to hit your average. If not, it's going to drop below your average, where you're going to get out with some sort of profits. So parabolic move, absolute favorite move. But you have to be careful with these, especially if you're longing. You got to take profits quickly. Washout. It's when a stock just dumps right at the open. It can actually dump at any time. So, it does not even have a chance to bounce. So they call this, it's called a washout, falling knife. There's different terminologies for it, but it's when a stock. So in this case, the market, this was VSTM. The market opened at 550, and all of a sudden, it just crashed. And it just kept going down, 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 down. It went from 550 down to right here. This was like 440, okay? Because right here was $5. So this was 440. So 550 to 440 in a matter of a couple minutes. And if you try to buy the dip, there really wasn't much of a rip. You have to be fast. So this comes with a lot of experience and reading the level 2 and the time and sales, which we'll discuss later on in this chapter. But this is a washout play when it just dumps. So triangle, not one of my favorites, but I figured I'd tell you guys about it, because the thing with the triangle is it can be a 50-50, so some traders enjoy these. I don't. It's basically when it's forming a triangle, goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, and towards the end of the triangle, it starts to tighten up. And when it tightens up, usually right about here. Now I know this one says it, shows it going up. This one shows it going down. But really, when it gets to the very end of the triangle, it could go either way. This right here is a 50-50 play. So if you see a triangle pattern form, me personally, I won't touch them. It's just not my kind of play. But this is something good to learn and keep an eye out for. Bull flag. Some traders trade bull flags. It's when the stock rips up, pulls down, bounces up, pulls down, bounces up, pulls down, and it literally forms a flag. And then they're looking for a break of this previous high, and they'll look to get long right here and sell into the quick pop. So this is what a bull flag is called and looks like. Bear flag. Completely opposite. It's bearish. So it's when the stock rips down, bounces up, has a higher low, bounces up, higher low, bounces up, and cannot break this right here. And it comes back down, and you basically short it. If it cracked this previous high or low, you look to short it right here and cover into the wash. Again, bull flags and bear flags, I don't trade them. Again, these are gambles, because let's say you longed it right here, it could crash and come down right here, and then when you think like, oh, okay, well, it came back up, you know, three previous times, you think it's going to come back up again to break off for even, and all of a sudden this one last time is when it crashed. So bull flags are kind of like I said, they're not for me. I personally don't trade them, bulls or bears, but some people, like I said, this is their strategy. This is what they enjoy. This is what they're comfortable with. So it's why I'm reviewing, you know, going over it and reviewing it with you. Triple bottom. Basically treat this as support. So this, when the stock holds support 1, 2, 3 times. Stock comes down, holds support, goes up, hits resistance. And in a way, this is actually consolidating right here. So again, not my favorite kind of play. This is, you know, it's a combination of holding support and resistance. So, you know, just when you think you might be able, you know, long right here, it pulls back. Just when you think you might be able to short right here, it squeezes up. So it's when it holds triple bottoms, when it bounces 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and that third time is actually when you could look right here. Like I said, you could either look to short or long it. But again, it's a 50-50 play. But you know, some traders they do successful off of these kind of plays. Double top. Double top, they call this double top, head and shoulders. Very similar. You know, the stock squeezes up, fails resistance, pulls back, goes up again, fails resistance again. And this is where you hear you'll hear a lot of traders on Twitter or, you know, in the chat room be like, oh, it's forming a double top, gonna look to short it to the double top. And they'll short right here and look to cover into the wash. But again, there's times where, you know, you'll see the double top forming and you're short, and then it squeezes up and you're like, son of a bitch. So again, always be careful with, you know, double top, triple bottoms, bear flags, bull flags. Falling knife, again, this is a washout play. Perfect example. You know, stock, you know, went up, pulled back, started grinding up again, all of a sudden just out of nowhere, just when, you know, traders were like, oh, I'm going to look to short right here at the double top, didn't even make it there. It just dropped. And it, you know, it didn't even have a chance to pull back. It just dropped again. So, you know, going over the candle, you know, candle charting again. In this case, the stock, you know, look at this wick. So there was enough buying pressure. So if you look at the wicks, you know, this is a doji wick, but the wicks were very, like, with these kind of wicks, at this point, I'd be like, I'm not liking the wicks. The wicks had like a, you know, where open, closed higher. You know, you want the body. You don't want a wick. If you're bullish, you know, if you're bullish and you want the stock to go up, you don't want wicks on your green candle. You want wicks at the bottom of the green candle. So like, perfect example right here. So this one, the wick is at the bottom. So that means this candle is very bullish. And look what happened. The next candle, it just ripped up. So, you know, that's basically what you're looking for. And that takes time. You know, it will take time to learn how to read candlesticks and charting. And when you hear day traders say, oh, you know, study. This is what you have to study. This is what you have to learn, is how to, you know, just look at, you know, different, you know, stocks on the day and look at the stocks that made big moves and just look at the chart. Pull up the 1-minute chart, pull up the 2-minute chart, pull up the 5-minute chart, pull up the daily chart, and just study the chart. Just look at each and every single candle and see how it moved. And then you start to just like, it starts to like absorb in your brain. Make your brain like a sponge and just absorb everything with candlesticks and charting. But this is what you call a falling knife, washout, a dump. So, you know, these kind of plays, it could just happen out of nowhere. VWAP. So what the VWAP is, it's an indicator. It's the only indicator that I use. And a lot of guys use indicators like Fibonacci, the Bollinger Bands, you know, EMA. and all that shit. I don't use any indicators. Just not a fan of them. But the reason I use a VWAP is it's a volume weighted average price. The only reason I use a VWAP is a guide telling me how high is the price, how far is the current stock price trading from the average price. So this line is the average price, is what the stock should be trading at. So when there's a big gap between the current stock price and the VWAP, the volume weighted average price, that tells me that it's actually overextended, that at some point eventually this would be like, this whole area right here is a good area to short, because there's such a big gap. Eventually it needs to tighten up. Okay, it needs to basically like retract back to the VWAP, and it always does that. So it applies to the opposite. So if this stock was trading way under the VWAP and there's like a big gap, I'd look to be buying it somewhere down here in this area to retrace back to the VWAP. So that's how I use the VWAP. It's the only indicator that I use. Of course, on my, when I'm day trading the day, I'll draw my support, my resistance lines. But a lot of guys ask me, oh, what's that purple pink line? I was like, that's a VWAP. And I just use it as a guide to tell me how far, it is. So like right here, like this area of the VWAP, like this would be a bad area to short because there's not that much gap. And then when it started, working its way up, I'm like, all right, it's running away from the VWAP. It's going to be looking to like, shorts here soon, and, whole and half dollar numbers. That's what I look for. That's what I like. I had a high of 1240. I would look to short it at 1250. But in this case, I was watching the level 2 and time and sales, and the selling pressure started coming in. So I slammed the bid and just kind of rolled this one all the way down. So my personal chart layout, a lot of traders ask me like, what's your layout? Like, how do you, what do you look at every day? So when I'm looking at stock, I always have two charts that I'm watching, the 1 minute and the daily chart. The 1 minute chart is zoomed in to show just today's price action, but the daily chart I have is usually to show the last 4 to 8 months, depending on what I'm looking at for. So on the daily chart, I will draw my horizontal trend lines to mark out windows and triggers. Okay. On the 1 minute chart, I will draw support and resistance lines throughout the day. I find the visual, the lines just, I don't know, they just help me. Some traders can't use them, but it helps me make decisions, whether the trade is worth taking and how much room for profit there is. So if I see, support, or, if I see resistance at like 250 and $3 and it breaks 250, then it's like, okay, well then I have a 50-cent window. So the next resistance is $3. So that means if it breaks 250, then it could easily run to $3, and that's when $3 will be the next resistance that it has to crack. My personal chart layout. All right, this is my personal chart layout. Every day when I come to the market, I'm day trading. The stocks I'm watching, I'm looking at the daily chart, and then I'm looking at the 1 minute chart. So I have them side by side. So in this case, this is a stock MTBC. This is right here, daily chart D1. It's a 1 minute chart. So I can instantly, as I'm watching the stock on the 1 minute chart, I can instantly see on the left hand my previous like support, resistance. But in this case, this stock was trading at way above. So in the past year, there was no other resistance. The last previous resistance was right here. It's like $4 area, and you can see that this day it actually blew past this resistance and just ripped right up. So this is why it's very important to not only focus on the 1 minute chart, but also look at the daily chart. So you always look to the past to try and anticipate the future. So this is exactly how I have my monitor set up, to show the daily chart and the 1 minute chart side by side. Level 2. This is level 2. Okay, so this is the most important thing that you will have to learn with day trading, aside from charting and time and sales. So what is level 2? So you got the bid, the buyers, and the ask, the sellers. The bid is the price someone is willing to pay for the stock. That is the left side. So Someone's willing to buy the stock for 290. Someone else is willing to buy the stock for 289. Someone's willing to buy the stock for 287. So depending on what you're, looking to buy the stock at, you get thrown in this group. So this isn't one person. This is multiple people, multiple traders looking to buy the stock at 290. And then they just basically they group the amount of shares together, and basically you're trying to get filled. Ask, it's also known as an offer. This is the price that someone is willing to sell the stock. This is on the right hand side. Okay, so now this, if you drew a line across here, just this area up here, this gray area, this area is called level 1, where right here, 290, level 1, 290, 294. The last price that it sold for was $2.95. It's currently up. So this goes back to reading stock quotes. It's currently up 4.4%, up 12.126. It had a high of 305, had a low of 260. Previously closed. So yesterday it closed at $2.83. So it's currently up 0.126 compared to what it previously closed. Current volume trade on the day, 929,770 shares, and the current VWAP. So the VWAP price, the average, but remember what we talked about, the volume weighted average price is $2.89. So it's trading right there with the VWAP. So this right here is called level 2. It's called level 2. It's also called the level 2 montage. And down here you got short, cancel, replace, buy. So all brokers are basically going to be very, very similar to this level 2. Right here you put your share size. So if you want to buy 500 shares, you put in 500. Or you can use the arrows. You press the arrow up, it becomes 501. Press it again, 502. Display. So what the display is for is, to basically, let's say you wanted to buy 10,000 shares. You could basically just put in 500 shares. So you're basically telling them, you're basically lying. You're basically masking your order out here on the level 2. Price, you put in the price, what you want to pay it at. So let's say you want to buy 500 shares at $2.91. So if you put, you put 500 shares, $2.91, limit order, day, any, you put buy, and then boom, your order would actually pop up right above this group. So yeah, SSR, that means a short seller restriction. So again, this is a montage with the SSR on, and what the SSR is, it's a short seller restriction. So when you see this, that means you cannot short 290. Now, if you're trying to long the stock, you can either buy it. You could buy it here, or you could buy it here. So you could, put 290 buy, and you're basically sitting out here. You're basically sitting on the bench, waiting for someone to sell to you. Or you could buy it at $2.94. But if you're trying to short this stock, you cannot short 290. You cannot slam the bid. You have to short on the offer. So you have to short here, and you have to wait for someone to want to buy those shares from you. The problem is when the short seller restriction is on, if you're sitting on the offer, and someone wants to buy it from you, and the stock goes up, then you start getting squeezed out of your position. So anytime the SSR is on, there's a good chance, you could get really squeezed out of your position. So you have to be very, very careful and cautious anytime, you're trading a stock or you're trying to short it with the SSR being on. Longing is the complete opposite. So it's the SSR being on and trying to long a stock, it's not going to affect you at all. If anything, it's going to help, because there's a good potential that the stock could squeeze up. Order types. So you got limit orders and market orders. Limit orders, you enter the price you want to buy or sell that stock at. That is a price you're looking to get filled at, and that price only or better. But there has to be someone willing to sell, you that price on the other side of the trade. A market order, very, very dangerous. You do not enter a price. you will instantly get filled. You just don't know what at, what price. You can be filled anywhere. This can be very, very risky depending on the stock and spread, because basically level 2, you're basically just putting 500 shares. You change this, so this is set to limit, but you click this little drop down and you click market and you buy. So that means they could fill you. They could fill you at, you basically could be buying the stock at $3.03. So this guy could be like, all right, well, I'll sell it to you. You're willing to pay any price. So, it's very, very dangerous to do a market order versus a limit order. Limit order, you put down, you actually put the price in, $2.90, that's it. You're willing to pay $2.90, nothing else, nothing more. So, with order types, never use market order, always use limit. Order types, stop loss and stop limit order. A stop loss order will trigger to sell a stock if it dips below your set price. The problem is it has to be a market order. So let's say you're in a stock and let's say it goes up 50 cents and you're like, all right, well, I don't want to sit here. I want to let it keep going. I want to let it work out for me. You can set a market order. You can set a stop loss order. What means is that if it drops below a certain price, it automatically executes your position for you. It's good for new traders to discipline to cut their losses quickly. But like again, the problem is it's a market order, so it can fill you anywhere. A stop limit order will trigger to sell if the stock dips below your set price, but no lower than that price limit you set. The problem with this is, what if you don't fill your whole position? So if you're trying to, if the stock's going down, you have a limit of 290 and it blows right through that, there's a good chance you might not get filled at all. So you look at your account later on, you're like, what the hell? I set a stop loss order. I set a stop order, but I never got filled. It's because it was a limit order. You basically said that you're only willing to sell at that price, and the problem is it blew past that. If I do use them, I mostly use limit orders, but I consistently watch and enter myself, enter and exit the trades myself. So level 2 terminology, the spread. So what is the spread? The spread is the difference between the current bid and the ask, or on a particular security. So here's an example of Facebook. Facebook, you got buyers that are looking to buy the stock at $164.42, and then you got sellers at $164.44. So what the spread is that there's a 2 cents difference. So you got 2 cents. So if you buy this stock at 0.42, or if you buy this stock at 0.44, that means there's only 2 cents. That's not a whole lot. That's not a bad spread. But this spread here is 4 cents. So you got buyers at 290, you got buyers at 244 or 294. So the tighter the spread, the better. There's stocks that I've seen that you'll have a buyer at 290 and then you got a seller at 350. If you buy at 350, you're down. I mean, oh my God, you better hope that buyers step up to the plate at 350 or higher, so you can at least sell for break even. So you always want a tighter spread. You always want 2 to 3 cents. You never want anything really over that. It starts to get very, very risky and dangerous. Time and sales. This is called the tape. The time each transaction happens on both the long and the short side. So you'll see the level 2. And you got the tape. So for instance, this is actually Facebook tape. So that tape goes to this level 2. So you'd have the level 2 and you'd have the tape right next to it. Because as the buyers and sellers are getting executed, it's printing it out on this tape. So green prints means it went through on the buy side. So that means it's getting filled here. Red prints means that there's a lot of selling pressure, so it's selling on this side. When you see a lot of the white prints, means it was in between the price. It wasn't on the buy side, it wasn't on the ask, it was in between the two. So when you see a lot of green prints going through, a lot of green, that means there's a lot of buying pressure. That means the stock is very bullish. It's on an uptrend. When you see a lot of red prints going through, that means the stock is very bearish. That means there's a lot of selling. So if you bought a stock, so the stock is showing a few green prints and then you buy it, and all of a sudden you start seeing a lot of red prints going through, it's a very good chance of a reversal, that there's a lot of buyers that are just selling, 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 and there's a good chance that the stock's going to crash. So again, not only do you want to watch the level 2, but you always want to watch the time and sales. They go together, side by side, just like this. Level 2 tape. You always want them side by side, linked together. Facebook level 2, Facebook tape. So you can watch, the buyers and the sellers, and then reading the tape at the same time. In this case right here, if someone had said to me right now, buy Facebook stock, I would be like, I'm not doing it. Here's why. It's because you have a bunch of sellers. This would be called so with the yellow, the green, the blue, the red, this is called stacking. This is called a group. So you have a lot of groups, a lot of sellers stacking up. That's why they're color coordinated. So you got more sellers stacking up than buyers. So think of this as a tug of war battle, okay? Tug of war. Tug of war. Who's going to win this tug of war? The sellers. There's not many buyers. So the sellers are going to sell, 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 push all this pressure on all these buyers. And when you see this form up, this is something I'd look to short. And the short seller restriction is not even on. So I don't have to worry about getting squeezed out of this position. I don't have to short on this side. I can just slam the bid. So this is the buyer. When you slam the bid, you're basically selling. You're force selling these shares to the buyers. So in this case, the stock's shortable. There's no short seller restriction. Very good chance that shorting this, it's going to crash. And I'd be watching. I'd wait and start watching a lot of red prints going through, very little green print, and then I'd slam the bid. Hotkeys. What are hotkeys? Hotkeys are key commands that can be programmed to automatically send orders with the touch of a key. That's right. Imagine sitting there, closing your eyes, putting your finger on the keyboard and pressing a button, and then boom, you instantly buy a stock. You press another key, boom, you instantly sell a stock. You don't have to sit there and fiddle with putting in the amount of shares, putting in the price. You just press a button. Professional day traders like myself will use hotkeys to enter and exit trades. You have all of our possible trade combinations at our fingertips. This is required for high-speed trading because you have to be very, very fast. You capitalize on stocks running very fast. So, and the stock's, running from you or it's crashing, by the time you sit there and enter the amount of shares and the price, you'll be like, oh, well, the price just changed. So, backspace, backspace, you try and put in the new price. You're like, oh, well, the price changed again. And you're trying to catch it, and it's very, very hard. That's why you just have hotkeys. You just instantly press a key, and then boom, you're in the trade. Hotkeys. So this is straight out of E-Trade. They call it speed keys. So I did this little setup for you guys to give you an example, and basically the way I have this set up is if you press F1, you instantly buy 300 shares. At the ask, it automatically sends your order, and you're telling the system all or none. And the reason you tell them all or none, because if you press F1, let's say they come back and they only give you 5 shares out of the 300 requested, then you're going to be like, well, shit, this thing really needs to run just for me. This thing really needs to move the price just to be able to cover commission costs. That's why you tell the system all or none. F2 sells those 300 shares at the bid. Automatically sends all or none. So let's give a little example here. So let's say the stock's ripping and it's going towards $5, and you're like, okay, I want to buy 300 shares at $5. So the stock starts going up. You press F1, boom, you bought 300 shares at $5. Let's say it goes to $5.20. You're like, all right, I'm happy with the profits. I want to get out. All you have to do is press F2, and that's it. You're out. And then F5 would be to buy 500 shares. F6 would be to sell 500 shares. F9 would be to buy 1,000 shares. F10 would be to sell 1,000 shares. So, typically you want them spaced apart because you don't, until you get, comfortable with using the hotkeys, because you don't want to accidentally hit the wrong key, because this works backwards too with some brokers. So in E-Trade it's actually different, but some brokers, if you were to press F2 before you press F1, so if you came and you pressed F2, you would be selling 300 shares. So actually you'd be shorting 300 shares, and then you would have to press F1 to buy those 300 shares back. So with some brokers, it actually works backwards. You just have to be very careful. And then escape is to cancel all the orders. So let's say you press F1. Let's say if you pressed F1 and you told the system buy 300 shares, and you're looking and you're like, all right, well, it's not filling my 300 shares. I don't like what it's doing. All you have to do is hit escape, and then boom, it cancels your order. So this is like I said, this is out of E-Trade. Nice little setup, beautiful, real easy to use, and I definitely encourage every new day trader to use hotkeys. But that is it for this chapter, guys. Alright guys, this is chapter 6, and this is going to be broker platform layout. This chapter I'll be going over different broker platform layouts such as E-Trade, SureTrader, and Thinkorswim, which is TD Ameritrade. The reason I went with these three is because these are the three main best brokers for new day traders with small accounts, and you know, learning day trading is a struggle as it is, you know, because it's, you know, anytime anything new, it's always hard to learn. So I figured out, you know, make it easy for you guys and show you the, you know, the broker platform layout and how to navigate around it, how to use it, you know, and basically show you, hotkeys and, you know, just where things are located. So, you know, with that being said, let's go over the E-Trade platform layout first. What's going on, guys? This is the E-Trade broker platform for the desktop. I'm going to go over this with you guys. What's nice about E-Trade is that it's extremely user friendly. I got no complaints about it. The customer service is awesome, and I just really like this desktop platform a lot. It's got a really good, clean, fresh layout to it. So let's begin. So let's start with the top right corner. Right here, this is a quick little market view of the major indexes such as NASDAQ, S&P, Russell, and you know, it's just a quick view to see, you know, what that, you know, stock is doing, what the current price is, how much it's up, the percentage, and you know, you can modify this. You could actually, you know, eliminate this if you don't want it, or you can modify this and put in just, you know, random stocks that you're watching throughout the day, you know, and just basically have a quick little market watch up there in the corner. Down here you can see it says we're connected to the broker, but this is, you know, it is Saturday at right here the time, 9 o'clock, so nothing's open right now. There's no trading going on. Right here is your alerts. You know, if you make an execution, you buy, you sell, you get alerts. Down here is screen. So you got screen 1, screen 2, all the way up to screen 6. And what this is that you could set up on different screens, different layouts. So for example, like screen 1 could be like, you could watch one stock and, you know, have one, you know, execution, and, you know, you can set up screen 2 to have like 1, 2, 3, 4 charts, and you could just switch back and forth. So what's nice about E-Trade and having that feature down there is that you don't necessarily need to have multiple monitors. So some guys have like 3, 4, 5, 6 monitors. You don't need to do that. You could just have one monitor, one big monitor, and then just switch back and forth between your screens. And we'll set that up here in a little bit. Up here you got your file, you know, print, layout. So after you create your layout, you're going to want to save your layout, okay? And anytime you come into your broker, you're going to want to open your layout. So there's predefined layouts. So you could select one of their predefined layouts and modify that, or just leave it the way it is. But we'll start with a clean layout. So you got 4 tabs up here: tools, quotes, ticker, and trade. The trade is if you wanted to make a quick execution. You know, there's no time and sales, there's no market, you know, level 2. It's just a quick, you know, execution trade. That's it. But we never use it. Ticker, this is a rolling ticker. Just, you can basically edit this and put in up to 10 different stocks that are basically rolling. So you get to sit there and, you know, as they're rolling, you can see how they're behaving, whether they're going up, they're going down. As you see right here, you just like NA, you know, it's 255, it's up 30 cents. VHC, it's 815, you know, the trading price. TA, it's 580, you know, 5.65 cents. And this thing's just rolling right now. If you want it to stop, you just hover right over it. pull back, hover over it, and then you could just hold on to it and just move it along. If you're like, oh wait, what was that again? And then you just move back. I don't really use this, but it's a nice feature. Like I said, E-Trade offers a lot of different things, but I don't want this, so I just unclick it. Okay, quotes. This is exactly like Yahoo Finance. If there's a quick quote you want to see on a particular stock, you just click on this and put in, like, this has Facebook in it. It basically tells you, what the last trade, the percentage, the change, how much it's up, the percent, the total volume, the market cap, EPS, the beta. So this is a quick little, quote for that particular stock instead of having to go to Yahoo Finance. Click on Tools. This is going to be the main one. So you got Accounts and Trading. This tells you your account information, your order entry, order status. And if you go down here, you'll see hover over a tool for a brief description. Charts and market data. So if you go to Alerts, get notified when key events are triggered. So if you click on this, you can set certain alerts on different stocks to be alerted on your phone or on your desktop if, say there's a stock that you want to buy it at $3.50, you can put in that alert, like, hey, alert me when this stock reaches $3.50, and then boom, it'll alert you. The nice thing about E-Trade is that this desktop platform is linked to your phone, and their phone app is really, really nice and user-friendly as well. So if you set a alert in here, basically you'll get it on your phone. Any executions that you make in E-Trade, you'll be able to view those on your phone app with E-Trade. So it's really, really nice. So right here, options and futures. This is for futures and options. You got the futures chain, options chain, but we're not going to be going over any of that. Charts and market data. You got your classic chart. You got their new updated chart. High and low, it basically tells you new intradays, 52-week highs, 52 weeks lows. So this is good if you want to have a breakout of a 52-week high breakout that you're looking to buy, and it'll alert you. Market depth. So what market depth is, this is actually called level. This is actually level 2. So what's nice about E-Trade is some brokers that have a separate level 2 and separate time and sales, but with E-Trade it's combined. It's level 2 and time and sales in one. So if you click on that, it pops up. There you go. So you got the buyers right here, the sellers, and you got the time and sales. And right here, this little arrow, if you want to execute a trade, so let's say like Facebook. Okay, so right now it's trading at 172.23. If you want to buy this, you just click this little up arrow, and then let's say you want to buy 500 shares, you just click here and put in 500 shares. You could double click on this price. Oh, let me change that. 500 shares. 172.23. Limit order. All you have to do is hit buy, and then boom, it gets you executed. So let's set this up really quick. So when trading, you need the level 2, the time and sales. So there's not gonna be any time and sales right here. It's gonna be blank because the market's closed, so it's not gonna have any prints. So you need the level 2, time and sales, and we need a chart to go with it. Okay, so here is the chart. We'll just throw that down there in the corner like so. Put the level 2 right there. And what's nice about E-Trade is it kind of like has like a little snap. So as you see, as I bring it closer right here, this turns white. So it kind of like lines it up so I don't like kind of overshoot it or overlap each other. So watch it like kind of snap. Boop. See, it lines up perfectly. And then you can bring that down, and then it snaps at the bottom. See, right there. So it gives it perfect, perfect lineup. So right now, this is a Facebook level 2 time and sales, but it doesn't match the chart. Okay, this chart says QQQ. To link them together, you have to go right here and click on links and go to link 1 and change this to link 1. Okay, now they're linked together. Now to refresh it, you just click in here and then hit enter. And then it will refresh it. Oh, there we go. So now you have a Facebook chart linked to the Facebook montage. Now if we want to change this stock, so obviously Facebook's too high, we're not going to buy that. But let's go to AVEO. Okay, that's a little bit better. $4 a share. Okay, you know, you can see, look at this is a daily chart for the past daily chart 100 days. So let's say I want to look at the 1-minute chart for today. Well, let's past 3 days. There, we're able to see the 1-minute chart. And now it's, like I said, it's linked together. But let's say if I want to look at a 1-minute chart and a daily chart. So to do that, you go to Tools, click on Chart. We got to bring up another chart, line it up, snap the grid right here. We'll snap it right there. Maybe make this a bit taller. And we got to link this one up to that. So to do that, change the link to 1. So now this is link 1, that's link 1, that's link 1. So now both of these will reflect changes anytime I make a change to this. So let's put in stock MTBC. Now as soon as I hit enter, it will reflect this one along with this one. And what's nice is anytime you put a stock, anytime you start to type it in the level 2 montage for E-Trade, it kind of like starts to spell it out for you. It's like FB, Facebook, First National Bank, Fortune Brands Home. So that's pretty cool. You know, I do like that about them. But we want Facebook. And you can see, change it up here, Facebook, right there, Facebook, Facebook. 1-minute chart, the daily chart for the past 100 days. So AVEO, you know, there we go. So now I can watch the 1-minute chart along with the daily chart for previous resistance and support. Like I said, if I want to make a trade, you know, I could either, you know, put in the price or I click on the price right here. So see, this is 172.23. If I click on 360, it'll change it. See, all you gotta do is double click. So I'll click on $4. I'll double click $4. So let's say the stock, I want to buy it right now, $4. All I have to do is hit buy, 1,000 shares, or I could change it to 500 shares by clicking and using my mouse to, I'm sorry, my keyboard to type in 500 shares. Or I could use my arrow on my keyboard to scroll up, scroll down, you know, use this little arrow here and click, you know, or I could use it up and down arrows on my keyboard and press them. Okay, you could probably hear me pressing them, or I just hold them down. I just hold it. Okay. So if I wanted to buy, you know, double click $4, I'll buy it right now. And obviously you're like, well, I don't know if my order gets filled. So to do that, you need to have your order status. Okay, so you need to have this, your order status. Oh, God, I love that how it just snaps grid. So you need to have your order status. So if I bought, let's say if I don't want to buy $4, I'll buy $3.60. Okay, I hit buy, 360, it'll pop up right here. Okay, it'll pop up 360. I have an order out there waiting to get filled. Say if it gets executed, accounts. Okay, so you need to have this as well. Kind of perfect layout just like that. Okay, so if my order gets filled, it gets thrown up here, and then I have a position size. It'll tell me my quantity of shares, the type, the bid, the ask, and the market value, and my total unrealized profits. Okay, so say if I bought at $4 and it rips up to $5, and I'm like, all right, I'm happy with the profits, I want to sell this. I would just put in, you know, the sell price. Say I want to sell it at $4.50, 1,000 shares. I hit sell, and it pop up right here in my order status. If it got filled, you know, I was able to sell my, you know, 1,000 shares. Then basically it would populate up here in my account, and it'll give me my total realized profits on the day. You know, so that's how that works. So you want a chart, the market depth, which is combined with level 2 and time and sales. You want your order status and your account layout. You know, and the same works with, you know, shorting. If you wanted to short the stock, you know, say you want to short $4, you click on $4. Say you want to short 1,000 shares, you'd hit short. If you think the stock's going to tank, you short it. It populates up here. If it gets filled, it gets entered into your account. So the stock goes down to $3. You put in $3, and you know you want to cover. You want to cover those 1,000 shares back, and basically it repeats itself. So you know that's just all around really nice and easy to use. Another nice feature is so you could hide this. Like I said, you could show it, you could hide it. You don't necessarily need to see it until you're ready to place a trade, or you right click on this, right click with your mouse, go to settings, I'm not sorry, not settings, speed keys, and this is where you can set up your hotkeys. So instead of sitting there and manually, putting 1,000 shares in, putting the price and hitting buy or sell, all you need to do is set up these speed keys. So here's an example. All I have to do is hit F1 and I'll buy 300 shares at the ask, and then it gets filled. See, the stock rips up and I'm like, all right, I'm happy with my profits. I want to sell those 300 shares. All I have to do is hit F2 and I sell 300 shares on the bid. Okay, so you sell 300 shares at the bid and then boom, I get executed. Let's say stock's ripping up and I'm like, all right, I want to buy this. I hit F1. I put an order out there right here to buy 300 shares, but it didn't get filled. The stock's still ripping. All I have to do is hit escape on my keyboard and it'll cancel all my orders out of here. Or I just click on it and hit cancel. So that's another easy to use feature. So gotta love the speed keys. Speed keys, hotkeys, same thing. So with the charting, you can modify this. So you can modify everything by just right clicking on it. Okay. You can modify the prints, what color you want them to come through. But the chart, let's say I want some indicators. So you got studies, you can add the VWAP. Oh shit. What study did I just add? I don't know, I'll get rid of that though. So let's say I want to add the that was a standard. So that's gone. Let's say if I want to add the VWAP, there we go. I can add the VWAP. Okay. Chart settings, right click on that. You can change the color of your candlesticks. The VWAP, you can change the color of that. So right now you can see it's red. If I want to make that yellow, say make the width thicker, I said okay, and then boom, I got a real thick VWAP. You can change the color of my volume bar. So my volume bar is at the bottom, see the green, red. I can change that to pink. Cool. No, yellow. Change that. So there's just all around a lot of different features you could do with E-Trade. Tools, like I said, you got strategy scanner. You can set that up to scan for stocks. Let's say if you want a watch list, you can open up a watch list here and add different stocks to this, like Facebook, AVEO, DGLT, let's see, DRYS, APVO. So you just add different, this is basically your little watch list. So you create, each morning you create your watch list, you put all your stocks on here, and you can basically see what's running, what's moving up, the volume, and you can have that placed somewhere and just hurry up and put in your stocks right here. If it takes off running, and then it populates everything. So this is one screen setup. Now, if you got multiple monitors, you could just set this up, this same layout on multiple monitors. But if you have just one monitor, one laptop, then you just go to screen 2 and you reset everything all up again. Okay, so you open up another chart, market depth, your count, and your order status, and you just reposition all this all over again. Okay, so put that like there, put that down there like that. Oh, I'm sorry, this should not be here. We'll throw that right there. We'll put a chart right down like so. Line that up, line that up, line that up, line that up. I'll put that just like that. So there. Now we can switch back and forth between screen 1, screen 2. It's like, all right, this one's, you just go back and forth. There's hundreds of different ways to set this up. Screen 1, what you could do is you could just have this set up strictly for charts. So you could just have one chart. Oh, damn it. That's the classic one. Or new one. Chart, chart, chart. So you could just have this chart in each corner. So you have screens set up for 4 charts. We're just gonna bring these together in the center. Oh, God. No. See, brought me to the classic crap. That I don't like. They got, you click on that. Well, you can close out of it. Thank you. Let me just set this up for you guys. I know you probably get the point, and you're like, yeah, we get the point, but I start something, I gotta finish it. So you can set up 4 charts here, and you could be, watching Facebook, DRYS, Apple. I think that was Apple, APPLE. Okay, Apple. That's pretty nice too. You can just spell it out automatically, populates for you, and AVL. Oop, AVL. So you can sit there and watch your charts. Like, oh, DRYS is ripping up, and then you go back to screen 1. DRYS, put it in, and then boom, you can execute your trades. So, like I said, just really, really, really nice layout. Very clean, very professional, just very easy to use. It's perfect for new day traders. I hope this helps you guys. Like I said, you can change. There's just drop downs for everything. Like I said, you can modify anything and everything just by right clicking on it. What else is there? You get your high and low ticker. This is the all-time 52-week lows, 52-week highs. So if something's populating up here, it's making new highs. So this would be, something like this would be good to throw in here and watch the trade. So this is a nice little scanner. But yeah, guys, that's a quick overview of E-Trade. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please reach out to me as always. I'm more than happy to help you set this up. We could do a screen share. If you have any questions or you're struggling with something or you don't know where something's at, let me know. Reach out to me. Always make sure you go to layout and you save your layout when you're done. But all right, guys, I hope that helps, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, guys, so that was the E-Trade broker platform, which, like I said, awesome customer service, really easy to use, just very clean, professional. I can't complain about it at all. I really can't. It's just, E-Trade is just a really good broker. A hands down best customer service. I mean, they really, really are. Like I said, you can't go wrong with them. You really can't. All right, so the next broker platform we are going to be going over is SureTrader. SureTrader is the layout, the broker platform is very similar to E-Trade. It's a little bit more user friendly, I'd say. What I mean by that is like with hotkeys, like with SureTrader, you can really set up the hotkeys with charting. Instead of clicking on like the 1-minute chart, the 5-minute chart, you don't have to do any of that. You can just press a key and you configure the hotkey. You can configure the charting with the hotkeys, and I will go over that in this demonstration here. So with that being said, let's review the SureTrader platform. Alright guys, so this is the SureTrader desktop platform. Very easy to use. It's very, very similar to E-Trade from a layout standpoint. However, you have your montage, your level 2, and your time and sales separated. So you're going to have to click on those and put them side by side like so. So SureTrader is the broker. I'm using SureTrader for this example, but the actual broker platform is called DOS. So SureTrader basically uses the DOS platform. The broker Speed Trader, the broker Centerpoint Securities, they all use DOS. Okay, so DOS is the actual platform that SureTrader uses. Now, let's say you day trade let's say you sign up for SureTrader and you're using this platform, and then you switch to Speed Trader or Centerpoint Securities. It's the same platform. Now you just have a different broker with different fees and commissions and whatnot. So you already know how to use it. With that being said, let's get started. So I'm already logged in here. I already have a quick little setup here for you guys where I got the chart, the level 2, and the time and sales. So up here, you just kind of hover over everything. It tells you exactly what it is. So like this right here, this is a montage window. So if I click on this, that will pop up. Okay. Right here, you got the time and sales. So if I click on that, there I have another time and sales. If I click on my open orders list, okay. Oh, see, there's already one open here. But right here, so this is my account. Okay, this is where it tells you your realized, unrealized for the day. And this tells you, so if you have any pending orders, so if you hit buy, it gets populated up here, and then once it gets executed, it gets filled up here. So if I close out of this, so to do that, you just click on the gray area here. If I can grab it, why is it not working? I think I might be too high up. Oh no, there we go. So if I click on this, I can close it. Okay. Let me close all these actually. My God, I had them too high up there. So close that, and I'll close this. Now if I go to trade, I can open my account. So there's that. Just kind of minimize that, and like all of this, you can place wherever you want. So like that. You go to your positions. Okay, so this is your positions. Again, you kind of want these all like side by side, next to each other, or top to bottom, however you want to do that. And then orders, so you want to see your orders out there. Okay, you have that, and then you can also have closed positions, so you can see what's closed. Okay, so there's those four. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to have this one open. You could just have your positions, orders, closed positions. And you could basically just lay them out however you want, top to bottom or whatever. And every one of these you can modify. So like, let's say you're like, okay, I don't, for like orders, let's say you're like, okay, I don't want to see the side, I don't want to see the price, I don't want to see the route. You just right click on anything, okay, and you can configure it. Okay, and you could basically, like, let's say you want to see, let's say you don't want to see the route, so you push that out of there. Let's say you don't want to see the price, so you push that out of there, and then you don't want to see the time, you don't want to see the type, you don't want to see the open. So you're basically just eliminating all these, and then once you hit OK, you'll see this just get smaller. See, there you go. And then you just you can click on each of these and separate them so they're not so bunched together. Okay, like that. And you can minimize this window a little bit, just like so. So you could do that with each of them. So that's that. Let's say you want to try and find a stock to short. You go to the short list for short selling, and in here you could put in the stock. So like AVEO. See, this is not short says not available. HMNY, it's not shortable. DRYS, it's not shortable. AVEO, it's not shortable. Let's see here. Facebook, it's not shortable. Wow, let's see. I'm trying to see if there is one shortable. It's gonna kick me out. So, but that's basically how you'd see what's shortable. It would basically say yes and tell you how many shares are available to short. So that's a short list. That's how to know what's shortable. Trade log, that'll basically tell you all the trade logs that went through. Quotes up here. So not only do you have like the quick menu bar, but everything that's up here, everything that's right in here will be in one of these drop downs. But this is just a quick, quick access. So like this right here, like I said, is the time and sales. This is the options chain. This is a market viewer 1. So this would be like your watch list. Okay. So you know what? I bet you there's one of these in here. So let's go. I went back to I actually just went back to the short list, but I'll do that again. Short list. So this is a previous watch list I have. So let's see, CLRB. Not shortable. Oh my God. One of these better be shortable. Oh, you know what? Here's why. Because the market's closed right now. This is, yeah, that would make sense. It's a Saturday night. It's basically 1 in the morning. I'm sorry, it's Saturday night. It's basically, yeah, basically like almost like, it's like 12, it's 11:38 my time, but it's 12:38 New York's time. So yeah, that's why nothing's coming up. There's basically every night the system resets itself. But this, so this is a market view. This is like a little watch list that you could add. Um, put stocks in, APVO. You can have like a little watch list, and you could place this wherever you want. So not only are you watching, your chart, you got your level 2, your time and sales, but you have a little watch list. Right here, this is, linked to Twitter, so you can link everything to Twitter. You can link everything to YouTube, your market clock right there. So not only is there a clock right here at the very bottom, but there's also one right here. If you wanted a bigger one, you could place it, right up there like so. Okay, close out of that. Windows, tools. So again, like I said, market clock, scanner, news. So everything that's down here, everything's in this like little menu bar. It's going to be one of these drop downs. Like I said, you got news. Where is it at? Right there. So you got news. So this will start when the market's live and running. It'll start feeding news through here. Again, execution orders. Once you execute orders, that will pop up through here. Let's see, what else is there? I mean, level 1 ticker, you don't need that because this little box right up here is considered level 1. So with the level 2 montage, you get level 1 and level 2. So you don't ever really need the level 1. But what you guys do need is the high and low ticker and the top list. So what the top list is that will tell you all the NASDAQ active stocks, the most gains the NASDAQ lost. So this is a really good top list of to see what's hot, what's going, what's moving on the day, what's low, what's bad on the day. So that's the top list. Oops. High and low ticker. High and low. This is very similar to E-Trade, where it's got the 52-week low, 52-week high. So anything that's making new lows is on the left-hand side. Anything that's making new highs is on the right-hand side. Perfect for shorting. Perfect for longing. So yeah. Let's see. So like I said, everything you can customize. So everything you just right-click, and you can customize it. So like the time and sales, you can configure that. You could tell it what you want to see. The color, the print, up here. So like right now it says price, quantity, time. That's all I have. It's price, quantity, time. But you could add the symbol, so you could have it display the symbol. Hit OK. It's got a see right there. So you have it display the symbol. But so like how let me move that back. So like how E-Trade works is like, how there's like the link at the top corner. So you like link 1, link 2, link 3. The way this works is there's a little anchor. So like right here, this says HMNY. Okay. Let me see. So it says HMNY. It says HMNY, HMNY. If I change this to Facebook, okay, and say get rid of this, say if I get rid of this, I'll close this I'll close this time and sales. Okay, so let's bring up a new sales. So this says Facebook, this says HMNY, and this says nothing. So let's change this to APVO. See, it's not linking it to this, and it's not linking to the time and sales. To do that, there's a little anchor right here. You grab the anchor and you just pull it to this. So there's nothing you can physically see. Okay, there's no line or nothing. You just have to hold on to it and release it in the box. Okay, so again, put with your left mouse button, push down on the anchor, hold it, and just pretend there's a line and just pull it straight to either the charting or the time and sales. You can't pull it to anything else. It's either this or that. So pull it to this, release your left mouse button, boom, it's done. So now when you change this level 2 to any other stock, it will update. Okay, so see 172 by 2, that was the last price that went through in the chart. So let's change this again to APVO, and you'll see it'll change this and this. Just hit enter, boom, there, it's changed it. And you can click the drop down, so you don't have to keep typing each ticker. You just hit the drop down, and then you just click on the previous ones you've typed in, like Facebook, HMNY, you know. But yeah, you get the idea. So, you know, the chart. So right now the indicators are VWAP and moving average. To basically add indicators to this chart, you just right click. So everything you just right click. Whatever you want to modify, you just right click. So if you want to modify the chart, you hit right click, you go to study, and then boom. You know, the top, this top study, you got the price, the candles, the VWAP, and moving average. You know, you can either remove them, or add whatever you want here on the left hand side. So let's say if you want to see, let me just remove them both. I'll remove them both, hit commit, boom, they're gone. Let's say if I want to change these volume bars to blue and orange, right click, configure, nope, I'm sorry, right click, study, configure, right here it's the price candle. I want to configure this, and I can change the color. So let's go blue for the body, okay, for the up body, up. For the down body, let's go orange, okay. And then you hit commit. There you go. You just change the color, but it's actually pretty ugly. So let's just change that back. Green. Oh, was that green? Red. Boom. Commit. Commit. There you go. Okay. Now let's add a study. Let's add the let's add a moving average, and we'll add the VWAP. Okay. Select that. Now we want to modify this, configure that. We'll go, let's change that pink width 3. You know, do we want exponential moving average? Do we want simple, weighted, smooth? You know, get period. You pick your time period. Let's go 13. Let's go 13 EMA. Calculate it on volume. Change the line to dotted. Boom. Done. There you go. You know, same thing with the VWAP. VWAP, configure, let's change that to yellow, boom. Calculate VWAP for pre and post market, sure, why not, commit, there you go, there's a VWAP. Same thing, so if you want to change the volume bars down here, instead of right clicking up here, you right click down here. So we right click, study, there's the volume bars. Again, you can add studies down there as well. You could configure everything. So, like I said, that's pretty nice. You could modify all this. A lot of people ask me, how do you get the background to say the stock, AVEO, you know, 3 minute. To do that, you right click, configure, and right here, background name font, show title. So if I unclick this, boom, it's gone. Right click, configure, show tile, background name, there you go. You can change the background color. So if I want the background color, it's black. My footer text, so that the study name, so everything's green. So see how like that's is green, you know, this is all green. You know, you can modify that. Just everything you can modify the way you like. But so that's what's nice about, you know, this charting. So another thing is, like I said, very similar to E-Trade is where you can create multiple tabs here at the bottom. So I already have one set up where it's called second. So I got my main, I got my second. And you can rename this. So you can go to rename and you go to, oh shit. So click on second, rename tab, oh, rename tab second, let's go main 2. We'll name it main 2. Main 2. Okay, so then, you know, on this one, you could, you know, you could basically do the same thing like we did in E-Trade. You could just have a chart set up. You could just have 4 charts and be watching, and then hurry up and switch back. So that's also really easy to do as well. Alright, next we're going to go over hotkeys. So to go to that, you go to Setup and go to Hotkeys. Now in E-Trade they're called speed keys, but in SureTrader, SpeedTrader, Centerpoint Securities, anything that uses DOS platform, they're called hotkeys. So you click on hotkeys, in this, oh, I had it, this box will come up, okay? In this box, as you can see, I have the name and I have each hotkey programmed. So for my charting, I have a 1-minute chart, 2-minute chart, 3-minute chart, 5-minute chart, 1 daily chart. So all I have to do is press these keys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it displays this particular chart for me, okay? So let's do an example, okay? If I want to see the 1-minute chart, I press 1. If I want to see the 2-minute chart, I press 2. So in here, let me change this back. So right now we're displaying a 3-minute chart. So all I have to do is press 1 on my keyboard and it'll display a 1-minute chart. See, there you go. I press 2 on my keyboard. See, so normally you would have to click up here. See, you have a 2-minute, 5-minute, 1-minute. But watch my cursor. It doesn't even have to move. All I have to do is press 2 on my keyboard and I'll change it to a 2-minute chart. 2-minute chart. 3 on my keyboard, 3-minute chart. 4 on my keyboard, 5-minute chart. If I press 5, they'll change it to a daily chart. Now you might be thinking like, well, why wouldn't you have a 5-minute as, you know, number 5 on your keyboard? And you could do that. I mean, you could do it any way you want, but that's just the way I do it. Let's say if I want to draw a, you know, horizontal line or, you know, trend line, all I have to do is press 7 on my keyboard, and then boom. See, it instantly pops up. I press 8, then I could, see, I could draw whatever line you want, okay? To clear all that, I don't have a hotkey set up for that, but I just go up here, remove all lines, boom, they're gone. So yeah, see, just real fast, I can just look at whatever charts I want. I don't necessarily need to have 2 charts open. So if I'm watching the 1-minute chart, I'm like, you know what, I want to see what the daily chart looks like. I just press 5, boom, done. Look at that. Just like that. I don't have to open another window. So it's really nice with the hotkeys. Another thing I have set up with the hotkeys is I use my arrows. So if I'm zoomed in, let's say I want to zoom out, I just press down on to zoom in and out, I press up and down on my keys, on my keyboard. Go left and right, I just hold the left arrow. If I want to go right, I hold the right arrow. So that's what's really, really nice with, you know, this platform. Other hotkeys I have set up is with the level 2 montage, where if I want to buy 300 shares, I press F1. You know, want to sell 300 shares, I press F2. You know, 500 shares, F5, 600 shares, or 500 shares, to, you know. So I have them set up where I could buy them on the bid or buy them on the ask, you know. So there's multiple ways to do it. Basically, so not only does the key up work in the level 2, not only does the arrow keys on my keyboard work in the charting, but they also work for level 2. And if I press key up, it changes the price by 0.01. If I press key down, it changes the price by negative 0.02. And it works with the shares. So if I press the left key, it's minus 1,000, minus 100 shares. Press the right key, it's plus 100 shares. And you could change this. You could change this to be, you know, 0.05 or 0.03 or, you know, 200 shares. You could do it any way you want. But, you know, look, I have a hotkey set up where if I press Shift 1, it buys 90% of my buying power. This is perfect to grow a small account. You know, it's just absolutely perfect. But okay, so I have a hotkey set up to change windows, so I don't even have to hit, you know, click on main or second. All I have to do is hit tab, and let me show you. So if I'm, you know, all I have to do is hit tab on my keyboard, and see, it switches back and forth. Real easy to do. But yeah, that's a quick run through for you guys with SureTrader, you know, which uses the DOS Trader platform. Very easy to use, very similar to E-Trade. You know, like I say, you can customize everything, you know, by right-clicking. You know, you could lay this out however you want. You know, you could have multiple montages open. You could have all the montages at the top and all the charts down here. There's no right or wrong way to do this. But as always, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, or need help with anything, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I will help you set all of this up. Okay, so I'd rather help you guys and see you guys struggle with this. But that's it, guys. Thank you. All right, guys. So that was the SureTrader platform. Like I said, whether you sign up to SpeedTrader, Centerpoint Securities, they all use the DOS. So it's actually SureTrader is a broker, but they use the DOS platform. Can be a little bit confusing. The best way to put that is, so for those that are familiar with Trans Ams and Camaros, they were the exact same engine, but just two different body styles. So that's probably like the best analogy I could put it. SureTrader, SpeedTrader, Centerpoint Securities, different body style, same engine. Okay, so that's just like I said. The DOS platform, one of my favorites, mainly because like the hotkeys you can set up, just really clean, cut, very simple. Not a whole lot to it. But you know what? Everyone's different. Like I said, some people prefer E-Trade. They hate the DOS Trader platform. I like everything about every one of these brokers. But with that being said, we can't outrule Thinkorswim yet. So let's do a little preview of the Thinkorswim platform layout. All right, guys. So this is the Thinkorswim desktop platform layout. Hands down, this is just a really good broker to use for new traders that are, trading with a US broker. Just really easy to use, very user friendly. You have on the side here all the different tabs of what you want to enable to see on your actual layout. So for instance, I have the chart, time and sales. This is a tape. Right now it's blank because the market is closed. If you see the time up here, so it's got the time, the real time connected, my account number, buying power, liquidity. So obviously all this is blanked out for personal obvious reasons, but you could change this to obviously show how much you have in your account. But I have the chart displayed, the news. This is the level 2, the buyers, the sellers, and this is the execution. So if I wanted to buy, I could just right here click however many shares I want. Say if I want 500, and then or I can use my arrows on my keyboard, just go up and down, up and down, up and down. So I'll say I want, or hold it, and then you can whiz through it really fast. And then all I have to do is click buy, and I'd buy, $3.49. Obviously the market's closed right now. That's why there's such a big spread. So, buyers at 330, sellers at 349. That's a big spread. Obviously, if I bought at 349, I'd already be down because, the next, if I wanted to sell, I'd be selling to someone that's, wanting to buy a 330. So, but yeah, level 2 execution right here, tape. Charting is just amazing. Let's say if I didn't want to see the news. So this is the news. Let's say if I didn't want to see that, I could scroll down. I could just click right here, live news, uncheck it, and then boom, it's gone. So I want it back, click on it again. So let's say if I don't want the chart there, unclick the chart, that's gone. Let's say if I just want the chart, no news, no level 2, and no time and sales, I would just, get rid of that, get rid of level 2, and go to the dashboard. So, and that all I have is a chart, but I want this back. And you could easily, so let's say you want to make some of this stuff down here smaller, you just where is it, right there, you can just kind of bring that down a little bit. Say you want the time and sales smaller, you could bring that over, so you could just really customize this however you want. With the chart, so this is right here a 1-minute chart, so all you have to do is click here. Let's say you wanted to do a daily chart. All you have to do is just click that right there, and you get the daily chart. Switch back to 1 minute. If you wanted to, you could do, you could do a split screen like that, but that's just too much. That's just too much for one screen. But and then the chart settings, you could click on the little wheel here, and you could change your appearance. So let's say if you want a grid. So right now, see, you could see no grid, grid. You could change the color of your volume bars. So right now you can have a match Mine are blue, doesn't really matter. Your volume bars, you can change those if you want them filled, non-filled, your filled down volume bars. You can change the color. So you just really customize things the way you want. If you want a candle, obviously we want candle. We don't want to use bars. I mean, you can't read that, or you don't want lines. So we do candlesticks. So that's that. Like I said, drawings. So if you got on your mouse button, so on your mouse, you got the middle wheel, okay? So you press down on your middle wheel button on your mouse, and then you get this little, menu item that pops up where you can click here for the trend line, price level, rectangle if you want channels, if you want to do Fibonacci. I don't use Fibonacci, but some guys do. So in this case, let's say if you wanted to, we'll zoom in on this chart. Let's say we'll go right here. Okay, so let's say you wanted to draw like a triangle or something. You push down the wheel on your mouse button. Let's say you could just kind of like draw like that, and then boom, you got like a little triangle pattern forming here. So as you see, it tightens up. Or if you want to draw like support, resistance at price levels, you just boom right there, boom right there. Or if you want to say, okay, I want to draw one at $5, just click right there. So to do that, you just click on, like I said, press down the middle wheel on the mouse button, and then just click on price level. You can change the hand, click back, cursor. Oh, and to zoom in, you just kind of hold that over and zoom in, or you just hold control, and then use the mouse button to wheel out. But I actually want to clear all that. Trend line, move the trend lines, and so I'm doing this by right clicking and on the mouse button, and then remove drawings and price levels. So, and then also up here we got studies. So if you want to add a study, you can add moving averages. So you got different kind of moving averages, whether you use EMA, let's see, the Bollinger Band, CSI. Like I said, I don't use any of these crossovers. I mean, there's just tons and tons and tons of different studies you could use. Exponential moving average, SMA, EMA, is this the list goes on. If you want to add indicators to this, and to know what the candle was, so like this candle right here, it tells you right up here, so you can see where my mouse is. Basically the date, the time. As you see, as I'm moving this over, it's telling right here where so like this candle, it says I opened at 472. It had a high of 526, a low of 471. It closed at 519. And you can see it right up here. Open, high, low, close. And so depending on where you move, it changes. So just a lot of customization with this. You can move this up, we go out. But what's nice is, if you have a problem, you can send a message. You can go to support and chat. What's nice about, what I love about Thinkorswim is that it has a chat room. You got like a trader lounge, swim lessons, shadow traders. It tells you the different amount of users in each chat room. So when the market's open, you can go in here and ask questions, shoot the shit, you name it. It tells you right here, the symbol, MTBC, the medical, the name, the percentage. So I mean, it all, hands down, everything, all in this one platform. You go up here, you can have like a little market scanner. I don't have that set up, but you can have a little scanner to alert you of stocks that are running. You can set that up. But this just TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim, they're both one. You can't get this Thinkorswim platform without signing up to TD Ameritrade, but just everything. It's everything all in one. Perfect, for traders that want to day trade, 3 times a week if you have less than 25,000, but if you have more than 25,000, then you could use this every single day, all day. But I hope that helps you guys. Just a quick run through of this Thinkorswim platform layout. All right, thank you. All right, guys, so that was all 3 platforms: E-Trade, SureTrader, and Thinkorswim. Like I said, you can't go wrong with any of the 3. Whether one or the other, they're all really good, amazing platforms. I hope me going over each platform and explaining to you and showing you, hands-on how to use them, how to navigate around them, kind of makes your decision a little bit easier, and which broker to choose and which broker to go with. I hope this really helped. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. If you do decide to go with either of those 3, I can help you set them up. If you decide to go with a different broker that we didn't go over in this chapter, I'll still be more than happy to assist and help you set that broker up as well. With that being said, let's move on to the next chapter.